today, I appeared on a podcast. I was a guest lecturer on a friend of mine's podcast. It was a wonderful experience. We had a great conversation about the role that we play as clinicians and the wonderful privilege it is that we get to work with people in their dark moments to help them overcome challenges that they're facing in their lives. And we ended up having a conversation about something very specific, and I want to use this opportunity to highlight this point because I think it's really, really critical and crucial. And that is the importance of being aware of our biases and even more than that, the importance of treating your clients like a person. I think we have a very important choice to make every single time we meet with a client. And that is like, we hear all of this stuff, right? We hear their symptomology, we hear their traumatic and difficult history, we hear their relationship with the problem, and we hear about their bad choices. We hear about all of that stuff. So we can treat them as a collection of their symptoms and a collection of their histories and a collection of their problems, or we can treat them like Stephanie, or Steven, or Heather, or Adam. You know what I mean? Like we can treat them like the person or the collection of the histories with which we receive. And that might sound like a basic or obvious thing, but we are so taught to skew towards the history and information because we think if we can hear that information, then we can develop a intervention or strategy to solve that problem. And that might be true. Like I'm not arguing with that necessarily, but I am saying even before that, the most important thing that we do is treat people like an individualized person. Because you know what? No matter what I know about the history of the trauma or the problem, it doesn't tell me what it's like to be Stephanie going through that, or Christopher, or Yvette, or whomever going through it. The only way that we can make a difference in someone's life is to treat them as a person instead of treating them like a collection of data and history and symptoms that have come to our office. The number one thing we need to do when we work with clients is treat them like people. We can't connect with people unless we treat them like people. And we know from the research in our field that the connection between the clinician and the client is one of the most key contributing factors to whether or not change happens. But that originates with the deliberate choice to treat your client like a person, to treat the person who's in your office like an individual, because that's the only way we can make a difference in their life. So this, I think, is like one of the most important videos that I can make. It is not just the foundation of solution-focused work, but it's the foundation of all work. Your client is not a client, your client is a person. Your client is not the history of everything they've been through, they're a person. So treat them as such. That's how we make a difference in people's lives.